the code review slash code showing of the Project Mars Expedition Unknown Life Forms approach. So over here, starting off with the first off, I'd like to say that this was probably actually the hardest part of all the projects. I don't know why. I just found this the most difficult, but still, I had to work with what I had to do. So a lot of this code is improvised, further to say. So over here you have the introduction. Oh, and also I imported a java.utility.random because for the random number generator that was needed. Then back to here. So here over here you have the introduction, which just welcomes the user and tells the user what the program is for. Over here you have a status report on the let's see, what's this? Status report on. Oh, yeah, this is just stating about it being a status report and giving like the little side note on what these aliens are. And over here you have a initialized variables correlating to the alien behavior constructor, which I'll get more into as the video goes on. And this is over here you have what will print out the report status on the aggression of the aliens, running through a Boolean variable. Over here you have also another status report on the communication of the aliens, which is also run under a if-else block. And over here you have a status report on the rover, which I'll get into more into detail why I decided to put the rover into this project. But this is also run through a if-else. And then over here you have a bit more involved with the array list and the inheritance. So over here you have a status report, which gives a report on each alien with their names and their hunger and the condition of the alien. So essentially like their health condition of the alien. And over here, yeah, so this is just the status report on the aliens. I'll get more into the inheritance and the array list on how that prints out the name, hunger, and the alien condition, which is actually through here, coincidentally. So over here, this will essentially give instructions on the program on how to produce a status report on each alien by printing out the names and their hunger and the alien tool class, which I'll get more into, which involves more with the health status. And over here, you have some. This is a declared variable for the amount of rocks, or yeah, the amount of rocks. And here is the function for the random number generator, or the variable of it, I suppose. And as you go over here, so this is where it gets more into the feeding process of the aliens. So the reason why I decided to put int rocks equal to 3 instead of something like 10 is because I just thought that if there's only 10 rocks available, the most each alien's going to get is 3 rocks per each alien. So this is where, that's why this is equal to 3 instead of 10. So essentially what this will do is it'll run through a while loop, which will keep running until the variable rocks is no longer greater than the number 0. And this will put it if the alien's hunger is somehow greater or equal to 100, then it'll start feeding the alien of the rock, and it will decrease the current alien's hunger by whatever the random number generator decided to choose. And over here you have the bound 50. This is for essentially the maximum in which the random number generator can go, because the least it could go is 35, most can go to 50. And to go down to the classes, over here you have the alien behavior, which is just declared public variables with its constructor, and the public variables correlating to the proper items listed in the parameter of the constructor. Over here you have the alien health status, which gets more into the inheritance as it extends to the alien tool, and this is where it gets more into recalling the parent constructor and with the alien condition. For here you have the alien members class, which has the declared variables of the name, and this is also has the array list created for the members, and the constructor is present here for the alien members. Let's see. Oh, yep, and this gives a reference to the object, so the variables are referred to these objects, which is in this case this dot name equals to the name within the parameter of the constructor. And this also is the same applies to the array list, as this refers to the object. Members with array list correlates to alien status. And then the alien status class. Over here you have more declared public variables within that class. Array list in correlation to the alien tool, which I believe was also the same with alien members. Oh no, alien members, which is correlation to this class actually. Over here you have the constructor for alien status, which has the reference for the alien tool to the array list. And over here you have a method slash function, which essentially adds on more and more to the alien tool list as depending on the amount of aliens involved in the output process. Over here you have the alien tool class, which essentially is again another public variable. Its constructor, which has the public variable with a dot this in reference to the object, which is what is inbound with the parameter of the constructor. Over here is another override, because without the override it will print out instead of the word exceptional, it'll print out a random jumble of numbers, which I assume is the hash code. So I had to override the toString method. Sorry. And if I were to run this program, there we go. So start off over here, as stated, gives an introduction, welcomes the user, tells on what this program is for, which is reporting on the feeding of aliens. So gives the status report, just kind of a general note of the aliens. Here's a status report on their aggression. Status report on the communication is printed out, and then the status report on the rover is printed out. So essentially, the reason why I decided to add on whether the rover was available or not was because, as stated here with the notes on how the aliens would interact with the rover itself, so I decided to, it was just an idea that came to me. It's like, oh, I'll have this as another what is it called, a attribute, just for, I don't know, I just thought I'd just have the base rover as an attribute on the interaction of the aliens, or correlation to that. And then over here you have the status report on the aliens. So here you have the alien name, their health condition, and essentially, since they start off with a hunger of 100, they're immediately fed a rock, and which decreases, and then it keeps, and then the hunger goes back to 100. So then the looping system over here will feed the alien another rock, which decreases the current alien hunger through another random number generator, or through the same random number generator, just different number. And again, it does that for the third time, which coincidentally actually did print out 71, both. And then over here, same applies to the second alien. Name prints out, health condition prints out, the process of feeding the alien and decreasing the hunger dependent on whatever the random number generator decided to choose, and subtracting 100 from the random number. And for the third and last alien, also the same name, health condition, and the process of feeding rocks. And that is all for this code review and code showing for the Project Mars expedition: Unknown Life Forms Approaching.